Yeah. Well, let's get back to Grimir and Joel here.
Absolutely, back to the TSD. So it's top 2, isn't it?
Yes. So that one is there's one game. All the top has one game left. I guess if Van Sternberg wins his game against Elliot, then it's a 3-man race, I guess.
So how many games in a season?
7. It's 8-man divisions.
Right. So there's 9 teams and you play 7 games.
Yeah,
weird.
it's because we had a drop out. Ghost
I see.
Ghost Dog dropped out, and
I see.
we got somebody subbed in. That's why there's 9 in this division.
I see. So those are the 2 threes are another 6 games played, right?
Yeah.
So there's still a game to come in from Elyod and von Steinberg. But even anything there is going to struggle to really affect the top, isn't it?
No.
I suppose von
it's
Steinberg
8.
can still make a go at it.
But I think we are pretty set on Belhobia and Tenlo, which has been looking that way from the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, they're certainly right up there. Only a draw and a loss each, and 4 wins. It's good form.
And I'm pretty sure they're not playing each other either in round 7. So that is pretty definitive. Humans and Amazons.
Yeah, Elyod, I'm surprised isn't a little better. He's a very good player.
Yeah, but it's Chaos. Chaos is flaky.
Yeah.
It can go fast both ways.
Yes, in NAF, it's odd, isn't it? The Vex Blitz pit's using pretty standard NAF tournament rules.
I'm happy to see that.
I mean, I like variety, but whatever.
It's definitely
as long as
I prefer the more the more cut down rule set with less skills, less variety. And
now you'll have to help me on what some of these races are, because I just don't know.
Yeah, so if we go on to Anki Panky, we got at the moment with 10 points for 6 games. We got Poncho with Amazons. Baki is playing Wood Elf with the 9 points for 6 games. So those two are in a bit of a commanding lead, I think. Besides, Ilm can win with humans, which will put him to 8 points, and which will still be in range of a top spot. And the rest is pretty much out of it.
The rest is pretty much out of it, yeah.
So it's Lizard, Wood Elf, Undead, Amazons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Amazons are incredibly strong in a NAF format. And BB2 does have Roxy implemented, doesn't it? Which is, a very key star.
Yeah, but no, actually, it's a bit fun. Carla almost fits the money better, but Roxy gives the team what it doesn't have. Carla gives the team more of what it already have.
Yes, absolutely. Do you lean into your strengths or do you compensate for your weaknesses? It's a good choice.
Yeah, it's a good, and Undead struggling a bit without the double, and Crucifer is really, really good, but having that terrible go at it.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, look, that can happen in any tournament. Just the luck of a couple of games going bad, and suddenly it's just not there for you, and your focus goes a little bit, and suddenly your record's awful.
So, but yeah, it looks pretty definitive. We'll have Wood Elf and another Amazon team on from this one.
It's certainly looking that way.
But back-to-back win for Elm and Baki not getting any more points could do it.
It seems unlikely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But, I mean, strange things happen. Mathematically, it's there.
Yeah, it's still there for but
you play on whilst the math chance is there, don't you? But it's
But we have a head-to-head. Did Ponchu and Elm? How did that game go? Ponchu, Elm. So Ponchu is the Amazons is on no matter what, because even if Elm ties him, he wins on head-to-head.
Right.
He won 2-0
so he's already
in that
through.
Game, so Amazons
he's already through. Yes, whatever happens, he's through then, isn't he?
Yeah, and Baki.
No one else can catch his points, so.
And Baki beat Elm as well, so if Baki does get 1 point more, he's through as well. And now
Excellent.
leads all 4 points. So it definitely looks like Wood Elf Amazons.
Yeah, that's a strong favourite. But then anytime there's Wood Elves and Amazons, that's a strong favourite.
Yeah. Then we got the division of Pro Elves. So.
Oh right, yes, I recognise those.
Yep.
Oh yes, all three of them in the top four, or three of the top four places.
And then we have Underworld sneaking in, Conley and.
Oh, that's not ideal for them. I mean, they break nicely, but they've also got the ability to get around you and cause problems. Hey, Justicium.
And then we got humans.
You want a real Barry White experience this evening?
Skaven.
I'll mix in a little bit of Elvish there for you.
Bretonnian and
with
Lizard.
a really deep register.
What do we have? 5. That's 2, but in this one, everybody has 2 games to go. So.
Yeah, so there's a lot of sorting out to get done there, but
the
Pro
two
Elves are all
the two Wolfbag and Obsidian definitely looks good, especially if they not play each other. Oh, they play last round.
Now, what are the Underworld up against next? Because they've got a game to play.
They're playing.
Graveyard
the
Dream.
Skaven.
That's
interesting.
Yeah, okay.
And we also, just to make it interesting, you have Wolfbag and Obsidian, the 2 Pro Elf top teams, facing off in the last round. Which could
end up. So there is some space to get up there.
Yeah. It could also be a round where both goes on if they just draw it.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you'd have to think they'd like to play nice and aggressive and try and put the other Pro Elf out. But I don't know. I mean, it's always my plan to win every game, even if that's not mathematically what's needed.
It's I can say the last Pro Elf has a chance, and he's playing Nim, another France guy is playing Oil Lenses and Obsidian. So if he wins those 2, actually those 9 points might actually be enough.
Yeah, I mean, if the 2 Pro Elves are playing each other at the end.
Yeah, and he's playing.
I mean, they might both end on 9, but they're not going to end up on less, are they? Yeah. I think they're in a tough position. I think it's the Underworld trying to sneak one of those places away from them.
Actually, but what I'm saying is, if Nim, the number 4 place, is playing Obsidian.
Yeah.
So if he wins 2 games in a row, then he passes both.
Then he passes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it could. It's mathematically doable.
Because he got 1 and 3.
He'd also need the Underworld to fall apart as he did it.
Yeah, but he's playing Underworld in the last round as well. He got 1 and 3.
Yeah.
So he actually have the chance to leapfrog 2 teams because he's playing them.
Yes, but their other results may see them also, hold some of those points. Yeah. I mean, look, while it's mathematically possible, you go for it. Of course you do.
Yeah. It's just interesting. All 4 actually can make it, even if it's a couple of points ahead. But they can actually, because of the schedule, they could actually be any of those 4 teams. But no, of course, Wolfbag Obsidian is favorites to keep their spots.
Of course.
And what do we have? We got another division that's not played any of the round 6 games. Got some more Wood Elf with a bit of a commanding lead.
Yes, yeah, 4-1-0 record. That's going to be tough to catch.
Yeah, and we got Dio's Camry sneaking in at 5 points, 7 points for 3-1-1. It's a pretty nice record as well.
Well, he's a fantastic coach. In the recent Blitz pit, he's the only one I didn't manage to beat, even in an overtime. Needed penalty kicks to get past him. Yeah. In Fumble, I've had a quite lucky streak against him lately. We've just weirdly, we having not met at all, we come up against each other 3 times in rapid succession. I got lucky all 3 times. Yeah. But he's a very, very, very strong player.
Yeah, and then we got some Orcs, some Nurgle, some more Pro Elves, some Bretonians, all stuck at 5 points.
Yeah, nice to see some Pro Elves with a 0-0-5 record there. So.
And some Pro Elves,
automatic magic answer, is it?
Yeah, he dropped out, but he hadn't won any. So because he lost the 2 first game and dropped out. And he dropped out so late, so we had to do admin when he's just getting full fight all the way.
It's difficult. I mean, I don't know how you, in your head, position your league. But firstly, it's the Touchdown Star Division, which is an interesting name. and hence it's got some sort of credibility and some name pull around it, and it's got you in it. There's a lot of reasonably good names in it. A lot of very, very good Blood Bowlers play here. And yet, I mean, personally, I'm interested in doing well in it. I did well season 1, and that was fun. But I'm also sort of just using it to practice the NAF format a bit.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to know. I mean, as people, it's really hard to keep morale going. But see, to me, if I lost 5 games, I'm still thinking, okay, well, I'm still learning this format and still practicing these games. But some people, I guess, are in it to win it, no matter what they play.
Yeah, Fetton is a little bit. He rage quit Blood Bowl 2 altogether in between rounds 2 and 3. So he just disappeared, and because he lost the first one and third one was admin loss, instead of sub a guy in, we just admin losing the rest of the games. So it's the same result for everybody.
It's one of those things, isn't it? I don't know about you. I've been around Blood Bowl now a long, long time, particularly online, of course. I've never rage quit. It doesn't.
No, it's definitely Blood Bowl 2 has a broader.
But lots of people do.
Blood Bowl 2 has a broader normal Blood Bowl, like for gamer people, which is not coming from a lot of Fumble people is coming from tabletop or Fumble, which is a little bit more special. Whereas a lot of Blood Bowl 2 people has just found Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 2, which gives them a little bit, gives it a different edge, which means you also see people conceding in a tournament, like in a league game like this, which you will never see on tabletop.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and it's also the computer game culture.
Yeah, that's the thing.
In computer games, you're much more used to being able to have that power over what you do and what you've committed to. See, it feels very much like whatever you wish to, rather than there being another human involved. But
it's weird for me as well. It took me some time getting used to. That's the reality.
And nowadays, I'm not sure there's that big a difference between BB2 and Fumble.
Yeah,
I do think on BB2 you still get largely.
Bros, we not your division is one of the last divisions, so we're not even there yet.
And obviously, it's the old-fashioned rules, which is dull. And there are slightly more rage quits and just the standard ever so slightly lower, perhaps on average. But up at the top end is, I mean, the best players on BB2 are the best players in Blood Bowl, same as Fumble, same as Tabletop. And it's odd how the same names crop up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of the same names you've seen before. And it's one of the reasons as well I've chosen to go with the tiebreaker system being head-to-head and random after that, because then it doesn't matter. If you win 2-0 or 2-1 for admin win, it doesn't matter. If you win, you win. So we're out of all those stupid things if it actually mattered the result. So cool. And we have Tully, which is most of them are playing round 6, and it looks like we have Demon Lord with the orcs going on with vampires.
I've just lost connection for a second, so I can't see anything. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, so Discord's still got connection. It's just my browser and Twitch is struggling. Oh no, Discord's struggling a little too.
I'm just trying to figure out where's Triple Skull versus. Okay, yeah, that division is done and dusted, I think. No, Pickenden. No, okay, Pickenden can actually do it. Let me know when you're back.
Sorry, at the moment I haven't got any form of connection. Oh no, perhaps I'm back.
That's too many people using the internet. So excitement. Cannot hide it. It's going to be interesting when you need to connect Blood Bowl 2. Barry is struggling a bit with his internet. Meanwhile, we're looking at this fine division. But yeah, yeah, and actually, CJ, Begaden is playing. Begaden is missing his round 6 game, so if you win that one, he's on 8 points. He's playing for the Vampires on 2nd place in the last round. So if Begaden wins back-to-back games, he could actually take the 2nd place. Triple Skull already lost to the Vampire, so he's not going to go over him. So this one is the vote is going on because there's nobody passing him. But the 2nd place could be still be on the well.
Hi, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Cool.
Too many people on our avenue streaming porn all at the same time.
Yeah, bloody lockdown. But I was just saying in Tully that actually Begaden, the Underworld, could actually steal 2nd place. He's a game behind and he's playing the 2nd place.
Right,
So
yeah.
if he wins back-to-back game, he'll pass him on a head-to-head. Triple Skull already lost to the Vampires in 2nd place, so even him getting to 10 points doesn't help.
No,
Besides, if
he's out of it then, isn't he?
Then Triple Skull, if Triple Skull has beaten Begaden and they all end on 10 points, it's some massive thing. So let's go on.
Well, at that point, presumably you have some dice, despite dice not existing.
It will be the combined score, how you done against your opponents, how many points you get.
Right.
And if those are the same point, it will just be a draw. Random of some kind. Begaden played 1-1. So that will still send Begaden into the final, into 2nd place if Begaden wins back-to-back games, he's in.
Fantastic.
So that's good. All to play for. And in Creek we have a CJ in a really nice position. We have Modera's Bretonians that can sneak up to 8 points, or we have KFoged's Wood Elf that can sneak up to 7 points as well. But yeah.
CJ Blackburn.
Yep, he's in chat.
Ah.
Local Manchester. So from one of my tabletop waterball mates.
Cool. And does he play online a lot? I mean, it's not a name that's come to my attention before.
I think you play some you play some leagues, I think, right, CJ? But I'm watching a lot of streams.
Right.
Oh, sometimes, right.
Well, hello, nice to meet you. And the lovely G'day Nick is down there, obviously. He seems like a very nice fella from my interactions with him.
Yeah, he's lovely. It's Underworld. We do have a goblin in this division as well, random boy. We do have goblin.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I was thinking of running goblins. I love goblins, but it's a shame to see them propping up the league.
They've still got 3 points.
Yeah. I mean, a win and a draw. I mean, I suppose you'd set out for the season thinking, a win and a draw would probably be okay. Stretch goal, though, you'd like to be 2-1 or 2-2.
But we got an important game with Modera and CJ's meeting in the last round, especially if Modera wins his round 6.
Yeah, so that could put it 8 versus 9, isn't it? I mean, it's always really interesting when a draw is good for you and not for your opponent. It gives you that sort of clock control right from the off.
Yeah, on the other hand, what can Super J? How did CJ and Super J play? Oh, that Super J won that one. Oh dear. So yeah, back-to-back wins for Modera will send him in, and if Super J wins the last Super J wins the last round, he will actually pass CJ.
Right.
So if he's unlucky, we could see the underworld slipping.
Slipping from top to third and just missing out.
But
well,
it's still
you've got to
looking
bring
good.
it every single game. Yes, at 4-1-1, you're in a good position. Of course you are. You'd rather be there than not be there, but still got to bring it every game.
But it's nice to have so much, so many, I guess that's what you get with playing with 2-1-0 is so many divisions is still open with one game to be played.
Yeah, I mean, I there's a level at which I like that. On the other hand, and as I said, I don't mind the idea of playing a dead rubber, a game where it's for honor alone, because I'm still practicing the game I like. I'm still, for me, playing a client I'm not that familiar with, and practicing NAF, which I'm not that familiar with comparatively to other sets of rules. So it's all good, but in America, isn't it? Every team gets a cake at the end of the season. Everyone gets to be in some sort of bowl against someone.
Yeah,
and I think that's to be avoided. But I'd like two up out of 8 keeps it competitive late into each season. At this point, obviously, over half the teams in each division are out, but they had plenty of time to get in a position to not be there. So.
And to be fair, in a lot of divisions, it's top 3-4. There's still a lot of half the division. There's at least 3 or 4 that can actually sneak in still.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to change it up, you could just take one division out entirely and have two wild card spots. So everyone's still, trying to keep their practice up, or base the wild cards on points. So if you've got 1 point, you get 1 wild card. If you lost out but got 7 points, you get 7. That sort of thing. Just so there's always that still a chance that you're through. But still, then it's a lottery, isn't it?
Yeah, and then we got Crazy Eagle, which is a little bit interesting because it's the standing is a little bit sneaky because Calcium rage quit the league.
Right.
Jimmy the same. So
well,
it's looking really good for Zebro.
I had heard that Throek had broken Jimmy.
Yeah, turn 3 when it was.
So yeah, it's a game where a league where you look at it and you think, hang on, how's everyone lost that many games? That seems impossible. Yeah, it's still completely wide open, which is incredibly weird. Except obviously that, as you say, Seabrook is going through. Calcium and Jimmy, I love them both to pieces, but they do wear their hearts right out on their sleeves.
Yeah.
And NAF style, if it is so different to normal that if you're not, really up with what you're building and what you're doing with it, it can be frustrating as hell. So it's a shame to lose them, but I mean, both lovely guys. I'm a huge fan of both. Huge fans of both.
Yeah, and actually, just as pointed out, something with Matt's day 5 I need to look at because his win is looking like it's missing.
Right.
So he's on 7 points as well, which will mean I cannot see anybody. That's probably to play for, but with Calcium and Jimmy out, then the next one is on 4 points with 2 rounds left. So that's maximum 8. So it's looking good for just him and Zebros. Let's just put it that way.
Just him is again. He's for my money, one of the best players I've seen in the world and come across. When you say I think he's one of the best in France, that's saying something because there's so many incredibly good French players. But I think he's one of the best there. In the NAF weekend, I called early because I was doing a full weekend of talking about it just for the hell of it. And I called really early that we should be keeping an eye on him. And sure enough, he absolutely monstered that league.
Yeah, we were really, really close in the Sicilian as well. We just had
just
a
to see
bit of
he has 3-1-1, so it was one of those not uploaded.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. His round 5 game is somehow wrong.
Well, yeah, that case, he's him and Seabrook are going to be fine.
Yeah. If you take Calcium and Jimmy out as well, then Calcium is 6 points.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
shame though, because Calcium, I do love that man. Him I know better than Jimmy. It's just a lovely, lovely. I mean, he's very emotional and very ragey, but that's because there's no filter, there's no side to him. Though he doesn't tell lies, he doesn't say things he doesn't mean. He just is him.
Yeah,
have a lot of
and
time.
it's potentially also lockdown with for how many boys they have is also a
Yeah,
bit
I
of
think
a
that must
lot
be
going on.
so. It must be hellish for him, absolutely. So big love to him, but yeah, there we are.
But that's what it is. It's his decision. He was not pushed out. Let's put it that way. He decided to
Sure. Well,
say goodbye himself and take his leave.
yeah.
So
You know,
that's
we
it.
all have to choose our priorities in life.
Yep.
It's not like you're short of people to replace him for next season.
No, and not even for this one. So we have Anton, Lunau, and McNaughton stepping in back in that division, so everybody can play the same amount of games.
Right.
In our division, we have Vampire going on, Wamps. Because Andrew has 5 wins in a row.
Yes. Yeah, he completely took me out, I think, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, Bob just... my Camry looked stupid all of second half trying to catch the vampires just running circles around them.
Yeah, me too. So, yes, and who's that between us all on...
Hagrim on Dark Elves with 7
Dark
points.
Elves, 7 points, right.
Round 6.
So this game we're about to play is quite important, isn't it? Whichever of us wins has a chance of coming second, a decent chance of being second.
Yeah, and because I lost to... No, I beat Hagrim. Who did I lose to? Andrew and Martin. So for probably I can work with a draw, I will imagine. Because I got tiebreaker with Hagrim at least. But losing this one for either of us will take us out, I guess.
Yeah, and who have we got next? Because we should know that.
That's interesting. I got Beppe, Orcs, and you got Hagrim. So
right. So if I get a draw
and beat Hagrim, then
and beat Hagrim, that's then complicated maths.
No, because if you beat Hagrim, then you will be potentially, if this is a draw, beat
So if
Hagrim,
we draw and then we both win in the last round,
then it's random, and so
it's
flip a
random
coin
between you and
between us
me.
two.
Okay. And Endro presumably is just unstoppable. What's he got next? Posthumous Renaissance. Oh well, yeah, he should beat that.
Yeah, that's no way. Like even if we went back to back, we can only get to 10. So he is in no matter what.
So he's in. So it's all about who goes with him, and it could be you, me, or Hagrim. Okay.
Can Beppe? No, you can only get to 7, so he's probably out as well. So just 3.
but you say you beat Hagrim?
Yes.
So that's his loss, right?
Yep.
So if we draw, then you've just got to meet or beat or match him and beat or match me.
Yeah.
Well, it's beautifully complex then. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.